It's down to you, mate. Finish the mission.
Oh, what a...
We took a loss there. Let's not repeat it.
I said, what a nade.
Oh.
Hold on.
That's right, gamers and fine shiz / huz. Today we're going to be bullying some numbers, right? Bullying. They can't sit at the cool guy table like us, alright? And that is 11 and 12. Right? At least in like the English language. I don't know if other languages have like their own weird numbers or if 11 and 12 is weird in every language. Excuse me. 11 and 12, weirdos. Because, hear me out, alright? This is probably one of my biggest hear me outs. They're just weird, because, you see, math class for you guys, alright? I'm taking you guys back to school. Alright, so base numbers, 0 through 9, right? You can make any combination of numbers with those, right? And then it goes to 10, which is called like the tens, which is weird, because they're also the teens. But then 11 and 12 is in there. It's like, why is it called tens? But it's teens, and 11 and 12, I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked. ADHD, guys. Okay. So basically, okay, so you got base numbers and then 10s and then 20s, right? Okay, and so like 20, 30, 40, they're just kind of like play on words of like the first digit. Like 20's first digit is 2, so it would be like 2T, and then 30 is like 3T, you know, it's like 20, 30. Okay, so whenever I say teens, what do you guys think of? Hey, I know 26-year-old Kyle on a clapped out Honda Civic drinking Mountain Dew got a little excited. No. So, whenever you think of teens, you shouldn't really think of anything, right? Because they just don't make sense. Like, why are the teens there? Instead of teens, shouldn't we have like 10T1, 10T2, 10T3, 10T4, 10T5, 10T6, 10T7, 10T8, 10T9, 20? It makes sense. We need to start a movement, right? 10T, 10, 10T1, 10T2. It just, I mean, it sounds a little goofy, but like, what are the teens? And what is 11 and 12? Like, you just have 11 and 12 there. Like, in between 10 and 20, the majority is like the teen numbers, right? But they're called the tens instead of called the teens. It's weird. In between 10 and 20, it's just like the weirdo zone, right? Like, different table, we're making fun of them. Flip these numbers, right? Flip off. And especially 11 and 12, okay? Because they don't make sense, right? Like the other numbers, like, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, they're all grouped together in that, like, first digit number, like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then with the T at the end, right? And then they're all kind of grouped together. They all sound the same. 21, 22, 23, 31, 32, 33, 60, 61, 60. You guys get it. Okay, but 11 and 12, they're just there, right? And then the teens kick in up to 20. All right, and then this is kind of like another question that I have. All right, let's branch off a little bit. So you know how like people age 13 to, I guess, 18 in America, or 17 are considered teens, even though like 18 and 19 are still teens, but you're still an adult. Anyways, so did like the societal age naming kind of play a part in naming the numbers, or were the numbers named first? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say the numbers were named first because I'm pretty sure, like, well, I don't know. Because I was going to say the English language kind of predates society, at least modern society, but pretty much all English is like a mixture of what? Like Latin, and then we got some Spanish words in there, and English kind of stole everything, right? And made their own language. Even though we have like original English, quote unquote, which is like Shakespeare, and then, you know, the more modern dated one would be uh, like UK, British, their slang terms of English, and then American English is kind of um, more formal, I would say. That's why like English is mandated for all pilots, because it's more formal, professional. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So yeah, I'm not sure which one came first. Like society naming the ages. Is that where like teens come from? They're like, okay, these guys are teens. But like, what are teens? Like, if you say the word teens, I mean, yeah, you think of those numbers, but what makes like a teenager, and why would that affect the number? I don't know. All right, guys. Or did like the numbers come first? And in that case, what was this guy thinking? Why is he just like, so 11 and 12, ew, gross. Let's call them 11 and 12, and then the rest of the numbers up to 20 are going to be called teens, right? I don't know. I'm going with 10T1, 10T2, 10T3. It sounds better. Let's make it a trend. Let's get rid of 11 and 12 in the teens. I'm just feeling it more, guys. All right? It just makes sense. The teens are weird. The 11 and 12 especially because they just don't fit in. Like, why does it go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? Like, it's just a cluttered mess. We need to group them up together, like 20s through 90s, and the rest of those, and we'll all be good. All right. So once again, these videos are heavily unscripted, except for a few bullet points that I need to go over, and yeah. This is just pure ADHD talking and random ideas that pop into my head. And no, believe it or not, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't drink alcohol. I think that stuff is stupid. I think you're bottom tier society. Back to the party pooper stuff. Back to the party pooper stuff. But no, this is strictly undiagnosed. Well, I am diagnosed. I just don't take my meds. Unmedicated ADHD. Random thoughts, man. I am high on life. I don't need drugs. I just work in one day and this comes to my mind. Anyways, so in the background, probably gonna have some Black Ops 2 Zombies. No Transformers today. I'm really digging Black Ops 2 Zombies again. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do town or farm survival in the background because I got a couple of those here in my roster of gameplay. But yeah, stay tuned for more of random videos like this. So basically, this whole channel is just gonna be me ranting, obviously. Some pretty stupid stuff, mainly about how dumb society is and how dumb people are. But yeah, for now, this episode was about 11 and 12 being a couple of goofballs, and yeah, teens are weird. Um, let's just cancel everything in between 10 and 20. Uh, instead of like canceling like Elon Musk, or anyone else you think is uh N star ZI. Let's just cancel these numbers. This is more important, right? This is more important. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. I'm just rambling. I'll see you guys in the next one. Probably gonna be a even weirder topic. Anyways, bye bye.
Thanks for playing, dork. 2 and 7, you suck. 6 and 7.